We're going to solve 2x squared minus 8x plus 8 equals 0 using the quadratic formula. So again, the quadratic formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. If you notice, the problem that we have is already equal to 0. It's in standard form. So again, standard form is ax squared plus bx plus c. And we're going to identify a, b, and c. So that should be your first step. I find the x squared, the number in front of that is a. So here's x squared, the number in front is a 2. The b is always in front of the x, so here's the x. That number in front is a negative 8. And then c is always the constant out by itself, or just a single number with no variable, and that is 8. Once you have your a, b, and c, we're going to go to the quadratic formula and plug them in. So I have x is equal to negative, and then in the place of b, I'm going to plug in a negative 8, plus or minus the square root. I have b squared, so I'm going to plug in negative 8 for b, and I'm going to square it, minus 4 times the a value, which is 2, times my c, which is 8. Just substituting those numbers in for their variables, and then I'll divide it by 2 times a, and a is 2. And then we'll go and we'll simplify this formula. So x is equal to a negative 1 times a negative 8 is a positive 8, plus or minus the square root. I have a negative 8 squared, which would give me 64. Then I have a negative 4 times a 2 is negative 8. That would be this part. And negative 8 times 8 is negative 64. Divided by 2 times 2, which is 4. Then I want to simplify what's underneath the radical. That's x is equal to 8 plus or minus. If I have 64 minus 64, that gives me 0. The square root of 0 is 0. So you're basically adding and subtracting nothing. So if you add 0 to 8, it's 8. If you subtract 0 from 8, it's 8. So really you can ignore the plus or minus, and we just have 8 in the top of our numerator. And don't forget, in the denominator we have 4. So I'm going to go 8 divided by 4, and my x value will equal 2. Don't forget that you are trying to find the x-intercepts when you're solving a quadratic equation. So the whole point of this is to find the x-intercept. In this situation, we only have one x-intercept. That's when x is 2. So as a point, it'd be the point 2, 0. That's your x-intercept. That's the solution to this quadratic equation that we started out with.